All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on the super fast-paced world of US IT staffing. We're going to demystify the three key roles that are, well, basically the engine of this entire industry. You know, the machine that turns amazing tech talent into successful projects. So how does it all actually work? Let's dive in.
So, have you ever really thought about this? How does a top-tier tech consultant find their next huge project? I'll tell you, it's not magic. Behind every single one of those successful placements, there's this really sophisticated and powerful machine at work. And today, we're going to break down exactly how that machine runs.
Okay, first things first, let's get the main concept down pat. It's called bench sales. Just think of it like a pro sports team, right? You've got all these talented players, in this case, IT consultants, who are just kind of waiting between projects. They're on the bench, totally ready to get in the game. The whole point of bench sales is to market these experts and get them into their next gig. So here's our game plan. We'll do a quick intro to what bench sales is, and then we're going to break down the three key players, the recruiter, the BDE, and the BDM. And then we'll see how this powerhouse trio works together to make it all happen. First up, we've got the recruiter. You got to think of this role as the absolute foundation of the entire process. I mean, everything is built on what they do. They are the expert who is completely 100% focused on the talent. And that's the crucial thing to get here. A recruiter's entire universe revolves around the consultant. You could say the consultant is the product, and the recruiter's job is to know that product inside and out and find the absolute perfect market for it.
So what does a recruiter's day actually look like? Well, it's this high-speed cycle of matchmaking. They start the day marketing their consultants, usually with something called a hot list that they send out to a whole network of vendors. At the same time, they're hunting through job portals for any opening that fits their talent. Once they find a match, they submit a profile and, if it's a hit, they coordinate the entire process, from the first interview right up to onboarding. It's a constant hustle for sure.
So how do you know if a recruiter is doing a good job? Well, it all comes down to tangible results. Their performance is tracked on a scorecard with these key performance indicators, or KPIs. How many relevant submissions did they make? How many of those actually turned into interviews? And, of course, the big one, how many placements did they lock down? It's totally a numbers game. And these metrics, they're everything.
All right, let's move on to the next role in this machine. Let's talk about the Business Development Executive, or BDE for short. Now, if the recruiter is the foundation, you can think of the BDE as the hunter, the one who's out there finding brand new opportunities.
See, with the BDE, the focus shifts. It's not about the internal consultant anymore. It's all about the external market. Their number one job is prospecting. They're constantly searching for, identifying, and then qualifying new vendors and clients who might need the talent our recruiters are marketing.
The BDE's toolkit is all about outreach. We're talking LinkedIn, emails, even good old-fashioned cold calls. But they're not just making noise. They are system builders. They're constructing this huge database of contacts and gathering a constant stream of new job requirements. This becomes the fuel for the recruiting team, and all of it, every single interaction, is meticulously tracked in a CRM to keep the whole machine running smoothly.
And their success? Well, it's measured by one key metric, growth. A pretty common KPI for a BDE is to add over 50 new, valuable contacts to the company's network every single week. Yeah, their entire job is to constantly expand that pool of opportunities for the recruiters to fill.
And now we get to the senior role in this whole ecosystem, the Business Development Manager, or BDM. This is the strategic leader, the big picture thinker. In the industry, they've got a great nickname for this role, the Rainmaker.
The BDM's focus is on a much higher level. We're talking overall business growth. They don't just find leads, they own the entire client relationship, from the very beginning to the very end. And their ultimate responsibility? Driving revenue for the company.
And just look at their role. You can see how strategic it is. A BDM isn't really down in the weeds. They're building these deep, long-lasting relationships with major clients. They handle the high-stakes negotiations, the contracts and rates that actually determine if a deal is profitable. And maybe most importantly, they act as a guide for the whole team, advising everyone on market trends so they're all focused on the most valuable, hottest skills out there.
So a BDM scorecard looks pretty different from a recruiter's. It reflects that strategic focus. It's not just about activity, it's about bottom line impact. How many major new accounts did they sign? What was the total revenue they brought in? And the big one, what was the profit margin on those deals? Their work is tied directly to the financial health of the entire business.
Okay, so we've looked at the three individual roles, but honestly, the real magic happens when they all work together. Let's see how these really distinct functions combine to create one powerful, unified team.
So let's start with a quick, high-level comparison. Think of it this way. The BDM's world is external. They're focused on bringing in new clients and growing the business. The recruiter's world is internal. They're focused on marketing their available consultants to fill the jobs the BDM brings in. They're really just two sides of the same coin.
And here it is. This is the whole ecosystem on one slide. This is really the aha moment, right? You can see so clearly how each role has its own distinct focus. The recruiter is all about the consultants, the BDE is about prospecting, and the BDM is about business growth. Their day-to-day tasks and their KPIs are totally different, but you can see how they feed directly into one another to create this seamless pipeline that goes from talent all the way to revenue. It's pretty cool.
And you know what's great? This isn't just a set of random jobs. It's a real career path. Most people start out as a bench sales recruiter, learning the ropes. From there, you can move up to a senior role or maybe even transition into being a BDM. And eventually, you can climb the ladder to become an account manager or even a director or VP of sales. It's a really clear pathway for professional growth. This quote from our source material really nails the essence of that top-level role. The BDM is the rainmaker. They don't just close one deal, they create the conditions, the relationships, and the opportunities that allow the entire team to succeed and grow. So, after seeing how this whole powerful engine works, from the foundational recruiter to the hunting BDE to the strategic BDM, it kind of leaves us with a question. Which one of these roles, the talent expert, the opportunity finder, or the deal-closing rainmaker, excites you the most?